Darnige from IBM France. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning. I'm the head of social business marketing for Europe. And so I'm dealing with all the aspects of social business when it comes to the transformation and what it means in terms of transforming the business toward the social business. That's my mission.
Yesterday evening we had this little Enterprise 2.0 meetup here in Paris, discussing with the Paris E2O community the role of organizational development and HR for the E2O project. What is your ideas and opinions about this question?
So I think transforming a company towards a social business really requires some profound changes that need to be thought through up front. And those changes are often led by line of business executive like HR and marketing. As far as the HR, which is your key point here, I think there are four major challenges that the HR people needs to deal with in terms of becoming a social business. The first one has to do with how you transform and you align that with the culture of the enterprise. I mean, using social media to me and to the company means that you are flattening the whole organization, that you're breaking down all the boundaries between the top, the middle management and the employees. And some companies in some industries are having a hard time to take that step forward. So that's one key element. The other key element that the HR executive has to deal with is how you kind of get the social trust, how you earn the social trust. You need to pick the right advocate and how you find the right balance to use your employees as advocate and how you find the right balance between letting them openly express their opinion on social media and being, I would say, a control freak, which would kill the whole initiative. So that's the second aspect that is really important for an HR. The third one is how you facilitate the engagement of employees and how you kind of rate your employees when it comes to participating to social business. You may have some employees that don't want to be there. They don't want to do social media. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think the bias has nothing to do with generation or technology adoption. It has to do with who you are. I mean, who you are as a human being, as a person. If you're shy in your life, you're not going to be able to go out there and share anything with the social media. So I think that's the third aspect. And the fourth one is measurement, how you measure the success of social media. And measurement is critical. You need to be able, and the HR people needs to be able to make a difference between people going out there, showing off, dropping tweets and Facebook streams, versus those who are really building like a strong customer relationship and customer engagement. Those things are really important, but there are also other line of business that are really important in that transformation, which is the CMO. I want to touch a bit on the CMOs. The CMOs is also a key partner in that transformation, and the role of marketers have evolved tremendously over time. Now the role of CMOs and the sales are kind of morphing into each other because the CMO has to deal with customers as individuals. They need to understand what the customer wants as a people, and all the explosion of data allow you to do that because you got so many touch points now that you're able to really identify what the customer wants. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as a marketers, you need to build like a multi-channel customer engagement system that's going to kind of maximize the value for the customers at every touch point. And you need to do that in a way that's going to help the customers know where he is, understand your value proposition across all the channels, and really get what he wants on your website. And finally, as a marketers, you also need to kind of drive and develop your brand reputation, which means you need to be able to identify gaps, identify top influencers, and address those gaps. And to all those points, I think the sales job and the marketing job really get a lot of overlap now. So those are key transformations I see in the enterprise as far as getting line of business involved.
This describes very nicely how the role should be designed for the future organization. But yesterday evening we also discussed that a lot of also HR, but we can also see this in the CMO part, that they are, well, stuck in the daily processes, and the daily processes are not social processes. They are performance-driven, process-driven. So how can we get them changing their mind and opening up, not just measuring the personal worker performance, but also extending their vision on the performance of somebody who's working with them, that they also need to do some sharing within the company, and this is value, and this has to be measured, and this goes into the personal evaluation of the workers. So how do we change the HR mind in this way? Because this is still a big problem, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think one way to do it is really to kind of bring all the business processes into like the social media, and that's what IBM is doing by announcing the new social business platform that we did early September, which is the tagline of that announcement was from liking to leading, and I think that says it all. I mean, you need to bring all the business processes into your social media streams and allowing people to take action in the context and having all those business processes integrated into the social media, and that's going to help. To your first point, that's going to help people adopting social business and social media, because that's going to be part of their day-to-day life. They're going to be taking action in the context, leveraging all the information they're getting from the media streams, and which I think is critical. And then from there, once the business people kind of adopt this social media kind of concept, then the HR is going to follow. So I think
so it's a button-up approach. So you're enabling the business lines to do their processes better with social technologies, and then the business lines will changing the way they're working, and they will put up some pressure on the administrative level of the company, on the executive and HR, that they will change also the performance evaluation system.
Yeah, because social media will become pervasive into the way they work, and so therefore the HR admin people will have to go with that and just say, yeah, that's part of the job now. This new way of collaborating is about having social media and business processes all together, and really taking action in the context for business people, and also sharing the same view as the customers, and really living up to the expectation you raise to the customers when you provide the customers with that great website where you can analyze what he's doing and so on. You're raising the expectation for the customers, and you need internally to kind of live up to those expectations and have the process in place to kind of take action in a short time and quickly react to new market demand. So that's all about living up to the expectation you raise to the customers.
But this is also a change to the E2O discussion, because we had a long time where all the evangelists, also including evangelists from the IBM, were always talking, well, we have this vision about the Enterprise 2.0, and this, with this vision we need to convince the CEO, the top management, and they have to follow this. But now, apparently, for the reality of really changing and transforming the model, we need to build up it from the bottom and not from the top.
And I think there's more and more overlap between the roles of line of business like the HR and the CMOs and the CIO. I mean, they're more like morphing into each other, and that overlap needs to be addressed, and that's going to help drive the discussion from the bottom top. And I think that's really, really critical that we kind of integrate all those business processes into the social media stream. That's what it's all about.
Is the social business offering of IBM changing with the evolution of the perception of the topic?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the announcement we made in September was all about using the activity streams and enabling ISVs and business application developers to kind of plug in their solution into our social media framework. That's all about that, and IBM is leading the way to that development as well. So that's really like aligning our solution to what we see out there with the customers.
So, what do you wish for our next E2O summit next year in March? What topic should be addressed first?
Yeah, honestly, as far as IBM, we are kind of this year we're trying to kind of reach out to those key line of business that we just discussed before, whether it's the CMO or the HR. And the Enterprise 2.0 Summit in March is going to be a perfect fit to our overall event strategy for the year. We really want to have HR people in the room, kind of putting their mind in terms of what are the key challenges as far as deploying a social business. And the challenges we discussed before are all good topics that IBM needs to address and needs to hear from the HR people as well.
Great. Thank you for the interview.